Let's go up and go Story of Nerub-ar Palace by Novel. That sounds like a really appropriate video to watch the day the Mythic raid comes out, and we're gonna do the Heroic raid in like an hour here.
Just a heads up, I assume that the raid takes place after the max level campaign. So if you haven't caught up yet, if you haven't done all the story yet, do be warned, spoilers ahead. Hell.
Spoilers ahead, chat, alright? Close your eyes and plug those ears if you don't want spoilers, because we're getting deep into it.
Hello everyone. We traveled deep into Azeroth during a war within, following the shadows of Xalatov, fixing the things that she corrupted and destroyed. The doors of Nerub-ar Palace have opened up, which I presume happens after a max level campaign. This is Queen Ansarek's seat of power, but she wasn't always the queen of the Nerubians.
Slender is the strand that guides our destiny, known only by true sacrifice. In our kingdom of Azj-Kahet, no one understood this sacrifice more than Queen Neferis, my mother. I saw this when the Black Empire came to conscript us for their last stand at Nylofa. My mother refused them.
For this treachery, your line will sever itself. This kingdom will wither with the waning of your worth.
Her strength defined us that day. And in that moment, we felt destined for greatness. But in the years that followed, our greatness was tarnished. Look at them out there. Wretched, starving.
I am not immune to our people's suffering. I believe better days will come.
Not if you keep failing to seize the moment. What was the point of you freeing our future, only to leave us buried in the past?
You comprehend so little. There is much for you to learn before you can be queen.
Mother! Mother!
Anzarek? Are you seeing this?
You have heard my voice in your dreams, Great Queen.
The Harbinger.
Yes, of the empire that was. But the old gods are dead. The empire lies in ashes, and a shadow has fallen on your kingdom. But the blood of the old gods can make your people powerful again. Your reign could last for eternity. All you have to do is take my hand.
Don't do it! Don't do it! Don't do it!
Your words are tempting, but the cost is too great. I would never risk my kingdom for such power.
W. Based.
Mother, who are you talking to?
Ghosts, dearest. As always, they are my ready counsel.
I'm not sorry for what I said. I only want our people to be great once more.
Greatness is fleeting. What we must do now is endure.
Damn, some
Your
wisdom.
time will come, child, but only when you are ready. What? You done?
You're not the only one seeing ghosts, Mother.
To have a queen so wise and yet so ignorant to the call of
The children are corrupted by the darkness, man. Damn.
Her name is Zalatath.
No. Bro, I have. Okay.
You had your chance, Mother. With this power, Ashkahet is unbound. We will rise. We will conquer. And together, we will finally claim our destiny.
Long live Queen Anzarak.
Here to
Bro, I have seen this like, what, 3-4 times at least? That's powerful, man. Like, that's, yeah, that is crazy good.
lots of whispered and corrupted.
Sheesh.
But I do
Okay.
wonder why the Nerubian Empire fell to darkness after they rejected to ally with the Black Empire during what I presume to be a battle for Azeroth. So for thousands of years, they were perfectly fine. Nuzov is then released from its prison, calls upon them to fight with him at Nyalova, but they don't. And then suddenly their people start to suffer. Did Zalatath have a hand in this as she was released from the blade? It's unexplained. But we do know that the Nerubians of Ashkahet, they did not do so well. And so Anzarak accepted a bargain of Zalatath, where her mother did not. Ascended and deeply connected to the voids, her people were converted as well.
It's in my blood!
Fed the black blood, the blood
That's
of
a
the
cool
old
question.
gods. A transformation that did not softly transform them, but it did offer them great power. Power and slavery, as Zalatath has the ability to dominate their minds, make them do whatever she wants. A private army which can't even produce its own pheromones anymore, which amongst the Nerubians is kinda important, considering that they used to communicate with touch and smell. And so it is, that we team up with those that do not believe that this is the right path for their people. We team up with the Weaver, the General, and the Vizier to liberate their kingdom from darkness, dispose their corrupted queen. Some amazing work has already been done, as it turned out that their former queen Neferus, she did not die. Instead, she's been forced to transform into the first Ascended. The path to ascension, again, it is not a kind one, nor did every experiment succeed. She is now a massive hulking monstrosity, with very little of the former queen left. Still, we
Dude, I would love to find a way to like decurse the old queen, like kill Queen Anzarak and like decurse the old queen and get her back on the throne. I mean, that's probably what's gonna happen, right? But that would be sick to actually see it happen.
did
That'd
not
be
end
cool.
her life. Instead, she can now be found, attempt to weave at her beloved Weaver's lair. Time to gather our troops and finish what we started.
I have redirected forces loyal to me away from the entrance. Dispatch these guards before they can raise an alarm. Otherwise, you will be encumbered with additional forces.
The pathetic conspirators have finally crawled from their holes to attack my palace. I appreciate you making the extermination of your futile resistance all the easier. Orgrax, feed!
The experiments on her mother were not the only creatures created. Ulgrax the Devourer is another,
Okay.
driven mad by endless hunger, but still playing with its food as the fear it makes the meat taste all the better. We will be a very tasty snack, but if Ulgrax can't reach us, they'll be more than happy to settle for delectable insects that are spawned. The Devourer is also capable of making portals to blitz across the battlefields, but don't get too focused on the fights, as in the sky, Rashinan is using acid on the webbing, which is keeping our platform in the sky.
Oh, that's what happens. Okay, that makes sense now.
Let the Royal Guard fish their corpses from the pool. The harvest cannot be interrupted.
The Nerubians are still hard at work, gathering the blood of the old gods, for their ascensions, for who knows what other purposes. From it, a vile ooze has risen, the blood.
This is actually the perfect video to watch right before our heroic raid. Like, perfect. Yeah, we have 1 hour to go till servers are up, guys. Like, cause we're gonna be doing all of these bosses momentarily. I did a lot of them last night too. So,
bound hotter, drawing everything in its path into the unseeming. Now, we have teamed up with the Hornir in Ashkahet. We already dealt with this unseeming realm. It is a shadowy realm below reality, where true horrors lurk. I would compare it to the Upside Down from Stranger Things. It's its own unique little realm where forgotten things can be found, like Harbingers or Lost Watchers. We want to make use of being dragged into this realm to clear out the ads, while also avoiding the tentacles from the ground and being blown up.
My spies will provide access to the barracks above. Move swiftly. It will not be long until the Queen realizes where you are.
Up the platforms we ride, fighting our way out of those gross pits to the Terrace of Majesty.
Intruders have breached the barracks! Sound the alarm!
The Nerubians have their own messed up versions of training dummies, captured prisoners that will do them just fine to practice their rotations and sim their numbers.
Hold! Make them pay for every step in blood! Your mad quest to destroy my queen ends here!
This boss fight is sick.
For the queen!
Sikran, captain of Sureki, has established himself as an arrogant duelist, getting rid of his rivals one by one, until the queen herself proclaimed him captain of the Sureki. Ansurek's followers. He has never known the cut of an enemy's blade. Well, until now, I suppose. He'll blitz across the battlefield, hitting his marked foes, leaving behind a cosmic simulacrum of his victims. They need to go away before he detonates them, and we do so by aiming his decimates through those simulacrums.
My execution was
It's a fun boss.
flawless.
I haven't done it on Heroic yet, though.
Whisper the Queen's name and they will carry you towards her inner sanctum.
You dare challenge the might of my empire? Kill my soldiers. Thousands more will rise. Your conspiracy is doomed. Raise your eyes and behold the pinnacle of Nerubian evolution.
Our first week, we pulled this guy on accident because he just like lands in the center and he's just like right there. And then we pulled him on accident and then we actually killed him. We actually killed him on the accidental pull because it was normal mode anyway.
Tear you apart!
Rashinan is one of the more powerful troops in the Queen's arsenal, but enters the battlefield, still quite wounded from our earlier fight on the Dawnbreaker. She too was twisted by Ansurek's experiments, transforming a once proud Nerubian into a monstrous winged horror. Trapped within her new form, shattered memories of her former self drive Rashinan into an unquenchable rage. Toxicity that manifests as rolling acid, waves that, like on the Dawnbreaker, we need to send away from our team and not towards it. And those wings give her the ability to create some distance from us. Distance that we need to quickly close to interrupt her acidic eruption.
Yo, chat, am I the only one that's looking for the damage meter on this UI? I'm like, wait a minute. So who's pumping here? Is it the mage or the rogue or what's going on here? How much damage is Nobble doing?
No escape.
None of you shall leave this place. Your desiccated corpses will be a testament to any who oppose me. There is no need for us to entertain this filth any longer. The only thing that concerns us now is my ascension.
The Queen's inner sanctum is impenetrable, but her ego is not. Cause enough destruction and the Queen will deal with you herself.
Causing destruction is what we do best. And where better to start than at the Brood Pens, where Brood Twister Ovinux conducts abominable experiments with the Black Blood. This corpulent horror lumbers through the palace's cavern's depths, regurgitating inky sludge onto the hatchlings to observe its gruesome effects. The power of the Black Blood is no joke, and the Brood Twister will crank open one of the canisters, which will then start leaking some goo. On the ground are several different types of eggs that will hatch worm ads, tanky ads, or group ads. We can hatch the eggs prematurely by dropping experimental dosage upon them, and we need to do so to make sure that none of those ads get covered in the ooze, because that will make them far more powerful and far more difficult to deal with.
Well done. The Queen is furious over the destruction of her experiments. Keep pushing.
Within the Hall of Whispers, we find a rather interesting guest.
I infiltrated the Queen's court, Master. She suspects nothing.
Nexus Princess.
This is my favorite boss in the raid. Nexus Princess looks so cool. This boss is sick.
Kaivessa arrived at Nerub-ar Palace only recently, quickly establishing herself as a confidant of Queen Ansarek. However, rumors abound within the inner court that she may harbor a dark and deadly secret. If discovered, the princess is prepared to dispatch all witnesses without mercy.
You have seen too much, and I cannot leave any loose ends.
Who is this Nexus princess? What is she in the palace for? What master does she serve? Is she friend? Is she foe? Questions that we do not have solid answers for, but if I had to make a guess, then I would say that she is here to assassinate the queen. This is based upon an ability called Queen's Bane, a dark venom fit for royalty, and she also leaves the fight with...
Impressive. But did you believe you were fighting the real thing? I will leave the queen to you. I get paid regardless.
Ah, so she was an assassin for the queen. Wait, we should have just helped her kill the queen. We should have just, been like, yo, you look pretty cool. We're here for the same reason. Like, you could keep your bounty. Like, just join our raid, and then we'll just one-shot the queen then. But we'll take the loot, though. Yeah.
I will let your bounties grow before I collect. Until then, watch your back.
A bounty hunter sent out to get the kill. And when thinking about the master, I was hoping, perhaps beyond hope, that it could be Rafam, the supreme archaeologist. But I think that's more fueled by really wanting Rafam to be in WoW rather than the story. Going from the known names, then an obvious pick would be the Locust Walker. No friend to Zolotov, and so by extension, the Locust Walker would want Ansarek taken care of as well. Would also explain how Kaivessa is such a powerful wielder of these cosmic abilities. Then, in the realm of something that we don't know yet, we could also look into the Ethereals as a whole. They have a whole history with Zolotov and their war with Dimensions the All-Devouring. This is the reason why the Ethereals looked the way they do, and over the years, we've seen them as cosmic travelers, traders, assassins as well. What if she is simply part of a bounty hunter guild? And Kaivessa, even though that she's a Nexus princess, she would be a bounty hunter for hire. Could we also become bounty hunters as a new class? Could we get playable Ethereals? Maybe, but not right now.
We did a poll like 2-3 weeks ago in the stream, and I asked you guys what would be the #1 sickest race to add to WoW, and Ethereals, man. Could you imagine playing as an Ethereal? That would be sick. That would be sick. I would love that.
Now, right now, we do our best to position the spectral images of Kaivessa that mirror some of her attacks, so that we don't get sucked into her nether rifts, nor get sliced by her Nexus daggers. And say that you do want more details on the Ethereals and some of the stories that have been cooking in the background. I'll link one in the description down below, because it's a bit much to go over right now, and we should really focus back onto the palace.
The Queen has opened the inner sanctum to send her elite guards to kill you.
The conspirators are here. After I kill them, I will expose the traitor in our midst.
The only thing you will expose is your weakness. I will crush these insurgents in the name of Queen Ansarek.
Likely to cover your own treachery. After I rend them, I will deliver your head as well.
The most trusted advisors to Queen Ansarek don't even trust each other, harboring a deep hatred, even more powerful than their loyalty to the throne. While unleashing their considerable strength onto their enemies, each also fights to ensure their counterpart doesn't survive, which is obviously a weakness that we can use to our advantage. Takash will try to web us in place, but we can use those webbings to stop Anub'arash from charging into the wall. He in turn will unleash stinging swarms, which can be used to break Takash's shield.
So when we did this last week, guys, we wiped in this phase here, and the boss is channeling Spike Storm, and it's a 10-minute channel. And when we died, it didn't stop the channel. So we couldn't release Spirit because the boss fight was still going on. So we just had to sit there for 10 minutes doing nothing and watch this slowly go down over 10 minutes. And then sure enough, when it went away, then the boss reset and we all could release. But we were just held hostage. It was terrible. Yeah, no, I'm serious. I submitted it as a bug, so hopefully Blizzard fixed it. I think I actually saw something like that on the patch notes, so maybe they did fix it, hopefully, because that was annoying.
He in turn will unleash stinging swarms, which can be used to break Takash's shield, pitching the Silken Cord against one another. Although we also have the option to do their achievements, Love is in the Lair. defeat the Silken Courts after Anubaresh and Takash have gained the bond of friendship.
Everyone plots against me. I hear their whispers. Betrayers! All of you! Guards! Kill them all!
Do find it interesting that Queen Ansarek's most trusted advisors are not ascended. Even though that is what all the Nerubians have been trying to fight for, have been trying to claim, being ascended has become this whole great honor amongst their society. And yet, is there still something within the Queen that knows that she can't trust Zolotov? Perhaps, but at the same time, she has fallen far too deeply. Her royal Queensguard are ascended, and the Whispers have convinced her that none of them can be trusted. None of them are worthy.
I must thank you for exposing the rot within my court. None of them were worthy of ascension.
It's dope dialogue.
You will not stop the ascension of my empire!
In phase 1, you'll want to avoid the green swirlies and move out of the big green pool on the ground. Feast is a big old attack on the tank, which you want to swap around with. Rotting Innards is a reactive toxin debuff on a random player, which they'll want to drop a little bit away from the boss and near the green toxic pool on the ground. Once the debuff expires, a bomb is left on the field with a circle around it. Move into the circle, but only have your designated detonator touch the middle when needed. And it's going to be needed when Ansarek unleashes her big AoE explosion called Venom Nova. Time it right and detonate the bomb so that you get thrown into the air and avoid the deadly wave of venom. The one who detonated the bomb then runs away from everybody else to drop off their big green circle, while from the detonation spots, waves of green goo are going to shoot out. Make sure to avoid those as well.
You are not warriors. You are lambs to the slaughter!
Until she reaches
Well, I just realized, does Novel play with 0 add-ons? I'm looking at this. This looks all default. There's not even a damage meter. I feel like there's absolutely 0 add-ons. I kind of respect that. Even these, I think, might be default. That's kind of Giga Chad. If he plays with absolutely 0 add-ons, that's pretty Chad. But like, bro, come on, not even a damage meter? You gotta see who's pumping and who's not pumping. I feel like with no damage meter, it's like, you know?
100%. At that point, she'll hang in the middle and get a shield. She'll stay there for as long as the shield is active. While hanging around, she'll try to drag you to your death, so do run to the edge of the platform. After that, you get 3 times a toxin until she'll recast the pool. But do be careful. Waves of green deadly goo is going to fly out, while the toxins are going to slow you. Melee at your own risk.
Subjects of the Empire, prove your loyalty!
My life for the Empire!
Once the bubble is down, we go into phase 2. The group splits up, kills the ads, and use the bombs left behind to shoot themselves up the platform. The Queen will rotate between the groups, trying to pull them down, while the group needs to deal with ads that cause laser beams, perform deadly...
This looks exactly the same as the normal fight. The heroic fight looks exactly the same as the normal one. Am I missing something here? It looks like it's so far exactly the same.
Ritualistic spells, while also activating bridges and moving from
normal,
platform to platform.
I saw the skull up here. I thought it was heroic.
Your blood is mine. Evolution always triumphs.
Okay, that makes sense.
Lead us to ascension!
Feeding time. Vermin cannot be expected to comprehend my grand vision. Ascension is the only path towards saving the Nerubian people. If that means
Cameraman
the extermination of non-believers, so be it. How have my soldiers failed? This
It's a pretty cool
entire
fight.
generation of Nerubians is tainted, unworthy of ascension. They are food for my transformation!
Once all is cleared, we're blown back into the last fighting area, where she'll put Infest on a tank, who needs to run away from her to not have the ad spawn right on top of her. If Mom reaches her kids, they're gonna detonate for an insane amount of damage, so slow them, root them, kill them as quickly as you can. Then she'll pick 2 players for Abyssal Infusion, which will drop portals onto the field once it expires. Drop them so that you can actually use them to avoid her big attack at 100 energy. She'll once again try to drag us into the middle, but this time cosmic death is going to roll across the battlefields. Time it right and use your portal to avoid both attacks, and then repeat as before until she dies. I often get the question, why do you talk about tactics? But that is because it allows me to show more of the fight, and we had so much fun finding the queen. I do wonder if this one is going to get a mythic-only phase, because she keeps talking about the next step of ascension, and upon her demise, guess whose feet show up?
Slender is the strand that guides your destiny. So easily overlooked, yet cutting deeper than the sharpest blade. Shh. It's almost over.
Wait, did he cut out the feet scene? Oh, it's probably because he would get demonetized on YouTube or something.
Your ambition was rare, you know. Yet despite even betraying your own mother, here you are.
Oh, dude, why, like... why, like, if you're Blizzard, like, really, like, they really had to do this? They, like, really did they have to? Oh my goodness gracious.
Promised nothing. Yet I gave you everything. You were just not enough. Pity me. I don't. You were a means to an end.
Never trust the dark side, guys.
Your survival wasn't necessary. I simply wish you had lasted a little longer. And now you learn the true lesson of the void. Only the strongest survive.
Bro, I can't wait till we kill Xalatath. Maybe, like, it probably won't be this expansion, right? It'll be like Midnight or the next one. But, like, that is gonna be such an epic moment, because, like, they built up this character for so, like, we're eventually gonna kill her, right? Like, it's gonna be sick, dude. Like, I can't wait to watch that race to World First too.
And so, Ansurek dies all alone, after listening to the whispers of Xalatath. Her final words are not, "you promised," but an exact phrase was said by the dark Aram Modgut, a previous wielder of Xalatath while she was still in the blade, who was also left to die. It shows how lucky, favored, powerful our Shadow Priests are, who managed to hold on to the powers offered by Xalatath, save the world of the Burning Legion with the Harbinger in hand, and even suck out the corruption from the sword left behind by Sargeras.
Guys, like, I have a question for everyone watching right now. To me, this is the most developed a villain has felt since, like, maybe like Lich King or Illidan, obviously. But I have a weird perspective in the sense that, like, normally I would just PvP, so I wouldn't care anyway. Is Xalatath built up really, really well? Or is it just because I'm paying more attention? Like, I can't even tell you a lot of the past bosses that we've killed. Like, I'm gonna be honest. Is it just because I'm paying attention now and actually watching the lore videos and doing the raid and, like, kind of playing the PvE side of things? Or is it actually built up better? Both. I mean, so the answer is both. Okay. It feels like she's just way more developed. But I might have just not been paying attention. So, okay.
Powerful, lucky, or perhaps all part of the plan. The final lesson of the Void: only the strongest survive. It does not only speak to Ansurek's weakness compared to our strength, but also provides a very small piece of the puzzle for the story of Xalatath.
It is ironic that the weakest of us may be the ultimate victor. Cthulhu, Yogg-Saron, Y'Shaarj, and, well, only one would remain to consume the world that was always meant to be.
What road is it that she has walked to get where she is now, and what is it that she wants to accomplish? Is she purely a being of the void, or does she go beyond it? Is there more to it? All questions left to be answered. But first and foremost, I do wonder where it is that she came from. We're not sure if this takes place before or after the max level campaign, but I place it after the campaign as she is now traveling without the Dark Heart. That would mean that she's no longer upset about what happens in the max level campaign, and she's now focused on the next thing around the corner. And it will also mean that the Nerubian
Okay, this was a little stupid. Like, so Xal'atath says, you can't kill me.
level campaign, and she's now focused on the next thing.
And then Illyria says, I'm not aiming at you. But like, bro.
Around the corner. And it will also mean that the Nerubian army has...
This is literally center chest. What do you mean I'm not aiming at you? Xal'atath has dodged every other arrow that has come in her vicinity. But now that she's aiming at this instead of, like, that doesn't make any sense.
It's already failed that part.
Like, oh, I couldn't dodge that one? Like, are you kidding me? Of course you could have dodged that one. You dodged all the other arrows. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Part of the Harbinger's plan. So, what is it that the Queen needed to keep us busy for longer? And if Xal'atath wanted us longer out of the way, why didn't she just give the Queen more power? That's why I'm wondering if we're going to see a Mythic-only phase where Xal'atath shoots out some more power for the Queen from the shadows, but we won't know that until at least another week. It is clear that she wants us for something, whatever that something might be, but these are all questions waiting to be answered in the next chapter and beyond. In this moment, we have done what we set out to do. The Queen of Nerub-ar Palace has fallen.
Your essence is mine!
Finally, this madness is over. You have spared our people a dark fate, Overcrawler. The truth of our alliance must remain hidden for now. But you have our gratitude.
While the Queen's plot is ended, I fear something worse looms in the shadows. Only time will reveal if we hindered this unseen force, or played into its hands.
What will the future hold for the Nerubians of Ashkahet? Not all Ascended are gone, and Xal'atath should still have the power to dominate their minds. Their former queen does not appear to be in a position right now to step up and lead them again. But perhaps we can think of something later down the line. Will these three take over as a council and lead the people into the future? Will we find out what is deeper beyond Ashkahet? Will we see playable Nerubians and so much more potential for the future? Not to mention all the little threats that have been building up for future patches. But that's gonna be for another day. For now, thank you very much for watching, everyone. And a big thank you to Mike from Preach Gaming and the community raid who took me along and get you all these sweet recordings. Now, say there's one more details on all the things that we talked about today. Do make sure to check out the related WoW article in the description down below. And that's gonna be it.
GG. Novel. Nice vid. Now we know all of the lore of Nerub-ar Palace. And now we're still waiting for the servers to come up. Blizzard, come on, just let me in, man. Oh, let's go up and go Story of Nerub-ar Palace by Novel. That sounds like a really appropriate video to watch the day the Mythic raid comes out, and we're gonna do the Heroic raid in like an hour here.